and gentlemen, Lynn Redgrave.
Well, being a world-famous rock star is just the sort of thing that a lot of kids dream about, and my special guest tonight was no exception. He started drumming when he was 9 years old. It was all he'd ever wanted to do, and for him, the dream actually came true when, by the time he was 16, he was on a world tour and well on his way to becoming a millionaire. He had everything: fame, fortune, a glittering career as the drummer of one of the world's most successful rock groups. And then on New Year's Eve, 1984, he was in a dreadful car crash that put him into hospital with injuries so bad that it seemed he would never play the drums again. Well, here to tell the story of his incredible fight back, ladies and gentlemen, from Def Leppard, please welcome Rick Allen. Rick, tell us exactly what happened at this accident.
I was driving from the Lady Bower Reservoir just up the A57 in Sheffield. I didn't really see this left-hand corner that was coming up.
What did you hit?
I think what happened, because of the speed I was going around the left-hand corner, I ended up rolling the car, and I destroyed somebody's very nice stone wall. Sorry about that.
How was it that you lost your arm?
The seat belt apparently wasn't clipped in properly, and it was the seat belt that actually came across my chest and actually severed my arm. So
were you thrown out of the car?
Yeah, I left the car and landed in a field, and I think my arm was left in the car.
So you don't remember this? You were in too much shock?
I was in way too much shock. I didn't know anything about it. Apparently, I was conscious for the whole thing, which is the thing that actually saved me.
Why was that?
Because my body went into shock, and I didn't really bleed. So that actually stopped me from bleeding to death.
And how did you get to the hospital?
Well, fortunately, there was this midwife that lived very close to where the accident actually happened.
God.
And she was obviously experienced enough, you know, in medical terms. And I think she packed my arm in ice because she was preparing for, you know, for New Year's sort of celebrations. Unfortunately, I messed up a few people's New Year. But as I say, I didn't know anything about it, so I was in a world of my own at the time.
So when you came to in the ward, did you know you'd lost your arm?
No, I didn't, because there were so many bandages, and my mind and my body kind of let me in on this whole thing very gradually. It wasn't something that just hit me, you know, oh, my arm's gone. It was over a 2 or 3 week period that you know, that I actually realized the entire thing had gone.
There had been a point, right at the beginning, when you were still out of it, when they had, in fact, reattached your arm.
That's right.
And your mother had thought that perhaps things were going to be all right with the arm that you lost.
Everybody thought that, but I suppose because I was out in the country, you know, when I had my accident, and there were a certain amount of bacteria or whatever, you know, it was kind of a long shot, and I ended up getting gangrene in my left arm. But this was something that I wasn't aware of, you know, at any point during the time that I was in intensive care, simply because, you know, they kept me sedated. Apparently, I tried to leave a few times, you know, with all these needles and stuff.
Were you all wired up?
Exactly, and, you know, I'd try and get out of bed and sort of, you know, head off to the next show.
What sort of support did you get from your family?
Just constantly being there. My brother, he actually moved into the hospital, and...
Were you in a room on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he moved into to a room nearby, and he helped me a lot. You know, he did pretty much everything for me.
Was he really looking after you? I mean, brushing your hair and doing your teeth and
Amongst
things like
other things. Yeah.
How was that, to have your brother look after you in that way?
At times a little bit embarrassing, quite frustrating, but at the end of the day, you know, if he couldn't do it, then who could? You know? So I just felt really fortunate that he was there, and that he dropped everything, you know, that he was doing, and just came and looked after me.
How about your mum?
Well, my mum, she was always really supportive, but I think she probably took it worse than I did.
Did you think that you'd ever be able to drum again?
No, I didn't think I'd be able to do anything again. Not until my brother brought my stereo system down to the hospital, and at first I found it difficult to listen to music.
Why?
Because I was constantly reminded of what I used to be able to do, and I felt as though I couldn't really do it anymore. And I broke my right arm really badly, so in order to keep me from sliding down the bed, they put this huge piece of foam at the bottom of the bed, which I could sort of rest my feet on and push myself up if I needed to, because I was all strapped up with my right arm. And after listening to music for a few days, I realized that I could still play quite a lot of the parts from, you know, some of my favorite songs, just using my feet. So that was really encouraging.
When did you go home? Because you went back to your parents' house, didn't you?
That's right. The doctors at the hospital, they said I'd probably be there for a good 6 months, and I ended up being out of there within about 3.5 weeks. And I was so determined to, you know, to get out and do something.
You didn't allow yourself much time for pity, did you?
No. And I think that's one of the things that really helped me, was the fact that I didn't give myself very much downtime. I never gave myself any sort of time to recover. From a mental point of view, I thought I was, because I threw myself straight back into work again. And from from a work point of view, yeah, I mean, I was proving to the rest of the guys in the band that I could do it. But it's only really now that I realize that there's a lot more to life than playing drums in a rock band, you know. But back then it didn't seem that way.
Did you think that they might get another drummer?
When Peter Mensch, my manager, came to see me, I thought that was probably the reason why he was coming to see me. And
how did you feel about that?
Well, that wasn't why he came to see me. He was more saying, well, we've been making this record for a year, and you know, we're going to be on it for another year, so you've got plenty of time to recover. You know, you just get yourself well again, and then, you know, see what you can do.
Is this the sort of loyalty that is in the rock world, or do you think this is because you're all guys from Sheffield who began so young, and so you're really a family more than perhaps most other groups that we know of?
I think it's to do with the amount of setbacks that we've had as a group. I mean, we've grown up together. You know, I joined the group on my 15th birthday.
Yeah.
And we've already seen a lot together, and we've grown up together, and we've had enough setbacks for us to realize that we're really strong as a team.
Yeah.
And that is the one thing that kept everybody together, and it still keeps everybody together now.